Hey, what's up, everybody? Brotrio here, and this is our transition episode for What You Play in Powwows. We are moving towards doing them one at a time because it gets kind of lengthy with all three of us each talking about their game, and luckily, this time, Scotty really wanted to talk about Hyrule Warriors?
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Yeah, and me and Aaron don't really have anything. Aaron has some
I've been playing Shinseki the Deep, but
he doesn't know the names of anything.
I'm like halfway.
And I've just been playing Borderlands again on PS5. So it's awesome, but not too much to talk about. So, Scotty, what is up with Age of Calamity? Because you told us a little bit, but it has been mixed.
Overall, I very much enjoyed this game. Dynasty Warriors, back in the day, was what we played. That was pretty much our Warriors experience. Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It was, and we tried a few after that, always kind of the same thing. Not the case here. Yeah. They have refined the formula and made it feel like a weird action Zelda game where Link and Impa and Hestu can take on like 1,000 dudes and they're fine.
Okay. Because the first Hyrule Warriors was basically just Dynasty Warriors with Zelda skin slapped and like slight Zelda elements, like
the first
you
Hyrule
open
Warriors
up a puzzle and get a chest or something.
So like the first Hyrule Warriors, say the first one was 90% Warriors, 10% Zelda. You think that sounds about right? I didn't play much of it.
Roughly, I didn't either, but
I would say Age of Calamity is like 70% Warriors, 30% Zelda.
Okay, that's better.
The story is rooted, at least at the beginning, kind of. I'll get more into that later. It's rooted in Breath of the Wild's world, which is why people were excited about this, right? So, I'm going to do a little switcheroo. Normally, I'm going to get my positives out of the way first this time, because I'm going to go off about these negatives, and
oh boy,
the positives outweigh it. It may go faster, but the positives do outweigh it. I enjoyed this game. Like, for the most part, super fun.
Yeah, I know I liked the demo. It seemed really fun.
And that's my first pro. Fun as hell. Like, it's just crazy cathartic to just run around and chop through 1,000 dudes. And it's still the dumb Warriors AI where they don't even, like, do anything. They just kind of stand there and growl at you sometimes. And maybe they'll swing an axe. And the worst ones are the fire Lizalfos, though. They suck. Because they'll flamethrower you, and they will just stay on you. If you can't manage to get out of the way, and you're getting stunned, they'll just stay on you for a good, 10 seconds.
Oh, God.
So they suck. But for the most part, outside of bosses and mini-bosses and stuff, the enemies don't really do much. But it's still fun to hack through thousands upon thousands of things. The combat is really good, and it better be. It's a Warrior. But it's varied. Like, even the most similar characters, at least weapons-wise and appearance-wise, will be Rivali and Teba, which is future Rivali, like the Descendants or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because they both use a bow.
Okay.
And, the future champions are in. Maybe I should have... maybe... I'll get into that later. I kind of expected them to be, but I thought it'd be more of a what-if thing.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, like I'm familiar with them, but I don't know their names.
They both have the same running animation where they put their bow in their talons and fly.
Oh,
and cool. Everybody has their own running animation. That's cool. Every character's different. That's my favorite part, though. Because, like, Teba, even though they use the same exact weapon, basically, they fight completely different from each other. Teba's way better. I don't like either of them because I'm not... I don't know. Using a ranged character in a game like this is weird. And it's not really their fault, and I probably have a Rivali bias, because I really did not like him in Breath of the Wild, because I didn't like Falco back in the day.
Yeah.
That contentious kind of rival asshole character doesn't do it for me, especially when they don't grow out of it in any way. Like Piccolo, Vegeta, they all grew out of it in some way eventually.
Right.
These other ones don't.
Falco's always just like, thanks, I guess.
Kuwabara, he grew out of it. He's a lump dumbass. And it had really cool cutscenes. Like Link straight up fighting against all four Blight Ganons at the same time. It was badass. Like, he's just hip-hopping back and forth, block one, hit the other, and Impa's trying to drag Zelda away because, shit's going down.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, Link, okay, you know the memory in Breath of the Wild when there's like 1,000 dead things. Like, that is Link in this game.
Wow.
Like, it's...
Cool.
If Link fought like this, yes, that is Link 100%. And that's everybody, really. Even Hestu. But, look, and in the final cutscene, Calamity Ganon's just like a big purple man now, instead of like a weird spider monster. So, he's just this big, like 9-foot tall purple man, and Link just like, I don't know if he hopped off somebody. I can't remember, but I know he jumped like no, he's taller than 9 feet. This dude's like, I want to say 15 feet tall. But Link jumps like 5 feet above his head, straight off the ground, hits him in the head with the Master Sword, and rides all the way down.
Wow!
Basically splits him in two, and then Zelda seals him. Like, it was badass.
Wow.
This is basically Breath of the Wild, but with Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes cutscenes.
Yeah. It's almost fan fiction with how ridiculous it gets. And that where the story goes, it basically is fan fiction. But all the characters being different is one of the main things I liked about it, because no matter who I use, I got to do a different strategy with, to some extent. Most of the time you can just hit Y and X sometimes and you'll be fine. But like if you go from using Link to Daruk, and you don't know how to use Daruk, you're not gonna have a good time, because Daruk when Daruk lands certain heavy attacks, it creates rocks on the field that are magma that you can activate and blow up people.
Oh,
and stuff like that. Neat. Or Urbosa has a lightning gauge that you have to fill, that you can either fill up by killing enemies, ZR, and it'll fill up, and that makes her strong attacks. First off, her sword's infused with lightning when you got lightning in the gauge, and you've got like a crazy amount of awesome strong attacks. Like one, she just straight up like shoots lightning like out of her sword, and you can just like wave her back and forth. And just like one, she just sends like a lightning cloud above people, and it's just like lightning spinning around and catching people in like a lightning tornado kind of thing. It doesn't look like a tornado, but it's just spinning around catching them. She's really, really cool. Urbosa was one of my favorites.
I mean, Urbosa always seemed like the strongest of the group, so...
Yeah, and like Rivali even like respects her. That's how good Urbosa is. Like when you're playing as Daruk, there's these little dialogue boxes in the corner. When you're playing as Daruk and you go say Rivali, he's like, I didn't need help. And if you're playing as Link, he's just like, hey man, f*** you, I wish you were dead, basically. But that's Rivali. But when like Urbosa goes and saves him, he's like, oh, please step on me, mommy. Like that kind of attitude.
Wow,
he's like,
God.
Rivali, he's into it. Well, Urbosa's got that step on me, mommy energy. You know what I mean? So,
no, I do not.
Anyway, there are a ton of side missions and upgrades, and some are whatever. But like some are really fun. But as you're upgrading your characters, they get it adds to their combos, or it adds to their heavy combos, or they get more hearts, or they get another special attack gauge and stuff like that. And as you get more combos that combine with your new heavy combos, or whatever, or vice versa, you get new attacks. So if you hit X 4 times and then Y, they'll do a different heavy attack than if you hit X 3 times and then Y. That kind of thing.
Okay.
And you have to learn each. I only had really 4 that I liked to play with, because I just got used to them. It was Link, Urbosa, Daruk, and Impa. Impa's by far the best. I'll get into that. Like, she's ridiculous. I don't know if I just got luck of the draw on loot with Impa, but for some reason her weapons were always stronger than everybody's. And you can fuse weapons. It's a weird fusion weapon system that levels up your weapons and
I do have a question. Do they break?
No.
Yes.
But there are a few optional characters, including Monk Maz Koshia and the Great Fairies. All of them. As you switch out, they get different attacks.
Like, are they four
just
separate
all
characters?
No, they're just all in the same flower.
Okay.
And like ZR, I think, is when one goes in and the other one comes out, and they do different stuff from each other.
Do they have names?
Yeah, I don't remember any of them.
Okay.
I only used them when I had to, because
I don't know if they actually got names in Breath of the Wild or if it was just a Great Fairy.
But one of my favorite parts was they had elemental versions of Moblins, Hinox, and Lionels and Guardians.
Oh,
so you got Fire Guardians,
awesome.
Ice Lels, Lightning versions, and Hinox Talus's and Lionel's had Malice versions as well. That just had a bunch of like purple goop on them. They're the strongest ones.
Right.
And you remember in the trailer that like badass looking YIGA guy with the two big like wind blades?
Sort of.
I think so.
He's badass. His name's Suga. Doesn't sound badass, but he's like Koga's all goofy and like he's Koga, you know. Suga's like the stoic one compared to, and like for some reason they just I guess they are, I don't know. But yeah, the villain Aster, he's all right. He didn't get enough screen time, and it didn't really explain where he got his that little crystal ball gears thing he carries around the future, and he wants to either bring the Calamity on early or stop us from stopping it or something. It wasn't well defined. But, I don't know, he straight up did sacrifice most of the Yiga clan and absorb their souls into his crystal to resurrect Calamity Ganon early, though.
What
so
the hell?
That was cool. And that's when Koga...
So that's like Philosopher's Stone stuff.
So like, that's when Koga joined your side, and you get to play as Koga now.
Oh, shit, that's cool.
Because he was pissed, because Suga dead now.
Is Koga fat?
Yeah.
So he was always fat.
He's a fat dumbass like normal.
Okay.
But, Koga's... I think Koga's a title.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that, too. Like, if maybe when he was young...
He was, like, fit, and then he got lazy because Ganon's been wreaking shit all over Hyrule for 100 years.
Bananas.
The champions got more characterization, like Rivali having kind of, like, big amount of respect for Urbosa and stuff like that. The voice acting, everyone was the same voice actor, including Impa, who's young now. Everyone did a much better job. It was consistently funny, especially Koga, and like when you save the Gorons, they hand Link, you know, they eat rocks, so they hand Link this rock roast that's just magma and rock, and Link just starts chowing down on that thing, and they're like, "Go, buddy!" He's just chowing down on this lava.
So it can be eaten by humans, apparently?
Apparently. But I'm going to go through every character and my ranking of them based on how strong they are and my preference. It's like Impa, by far the best. Like you can put seals on enemies, and if you play the demo, you probably know. And then you hit X, and she absorbs that seal. When you absorb 3 shields, she gets like 10 shadow clones, and she can summon frogs, like giant frogs, and ride on them.
So she's legit 100% Naruto.
100% Naruto, and that. And
I didn't know about the summoning frogs.
I didn't know the frogs either.
I have
in the demo. She's got all the shadow clones,
and if all your shadow clones get a frog too, if you do the combo, that's one of her heavy combos. Is she hops on a giant frog, and you just hit X over and over, and they just hop, and like beat the shit out of everything.
Yeah, I know. Like you can throw your kunai and light the grass on fire, and then fly around on a kite.
Impa's straight madness. That's all Impa is. Impa is madness when you've got all the shadow clones going, because there's blue lights, that Sheikah energy going everywhere. Health, especially if you're fighting a boss, or if you do like a perfect dodge, there's this meter you can get down where you can do a special attack on them. But especially if you got that meter up, you just see her melting through it. Like, she's ridiculous. Then number 2 is Link. I used to prefer two-handed Link until I got the Master Sword. And the Master Sword was just stronger than everybody's shit. And it shoots blade beams until you get hurt. So, like, you could, like, it shoots them, like, horizontally, too. So you could just, like, mow through people before you even reach them. It was really cool. So I would just mow through people on the way to my objective, build up, like, at least 2 special meters, and then go to town. So, the third one, my third favorite, you may not expect to even be playable, is King Rome Bafahamis Hyrule. You play as the king, and he's got a great sword. He replaced Daruk as my heavy boy because he was so cool. And like I said, might have been luck of the draw, but for Daruk and Urbosa, I could never get their weapons damaged, leveled up much. That might be on purpose because they have the other special abilities. But so King Rome replaced Daruk. A hobo outfit. That's his special ability. He's got the outfit from Breath of the Wild when he's in disguise. And you hit ZR and he just changes into it, and then he's got an axe now.
Oh, wow.
It seems like the hobo version's better.
I thought you meant like he had an alternate costume. I didn't know it was like part of his moveset.
Part of his moveset. It seems like the hobo version's better at groups. I was never able to confirm it, but a lot of his attacks spin. So I guess he's better at groups. I don't know, but I was just like, why do you have this? You're not a ghost haunting the Great Plateau yet. Why do you have this disguise? It's just like going around the people with it or something. But here's an example of how ridiculously characters can change. Because on my list, Mipha was down at number 8 when I initially made it, and then as I was wrapping up some of the post-game stuff, I'd upgraded Mipha a lot, and I had to go to this blacksmith, the night trainer, because you can just go and like pay him to level people up. Because Mipha was like level 20, and she had like a level 60 quest, so I was like, oh god, where it forced you to play as Mipha. And she was always fine, but then when I started using her after all the upgrades I've been buying for her and leveled her up enough, she hopped up to number 4.
Wow.
That's how much she changed. All the champions feel like straight demigods with how powerful they are and how easily they, especially Urbosa. When you do all her lightning stuff, just like Jesus, she's so powerful. Then after Mipha, I put Urbosa, then Daruk, then she has 2 different fighting styles. One, she has like arrows of light and like the goddess light energy. I like that one better. The other one's the Sheikah Slate, and that one's all about setup. That's why I didn't like it as much. I just didn't understand it, so I never used her unless I had to. And even when I had to, normally I just like you can send your people, whoever you're using, you can send to different parts of the map, so you can just like hit the directional pad and go back and forth between them. So if you have to capture multiple bases or whatever, I would normally just put Zelda off in the corner and leave her alone, because I did not like the Sheikah Slate Zelda. But Bow of Light Zelda is ridiculously powerful, and she can change into like a goddess form kind of thing where she starts glowing. She's just lobbing light arrows at everybody.
That's cool.
She got really cool. Then I put Sidon. He uses 2 Zora Spears, so that's cool, and he summons like, when he's doing his run, like Mipha swims in the air for her run. He's just he's just surfing on a giant water. That's Sidon. They've all got like straight elemental powers like Urbosa now, but Urbosa's the only one that really had that in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And he'll like summon like hammerhead sharks on like his spear and like stab them. And
That's awesome.
And I put Mazkoshia. I wanted to like him, but he seems to be only good at groups. Because when I had to fight bosses with him, I straight got my ass kicked. He absorbs seals like Impa, but I can't figure out how to do it. You have to do certain combos, and then he gets the seal, and then you can grow giant. But I could not figure out how to make him good, so I just abandoned him. Then I put Koga. He's fun. He eats bananas for one of his attacks to make himself more powerful. And he's got a face laser. I don't remember if that's in Breath of the Wild.
No.
But he's got a massive face laser, like almost like a Guardian laser that you can shoot when you fill up a certain meter. Then I put Teba. Already been over him. Then I put Yunobo. He doesn't use a weapon. He just punches people. But when you use his weapon to power him up, similar to Koga, he'll have different stakes, like rock stakes that you get for him. And he'll eat the rock stake and he gets more powerful or fills up a meter or whatever. It's been a while. Then I got Rivali. He was fine. He didn't, like, gameplay-wise, didn't bother me. He just never was exciting, and I never got good with him. Friggin' Riju, the Gerudo, like, queen or little girl.
Oh, yeah.
She uses her sand seal as a weapon.
As a weapon?
Yeah, so she's just sand sealing around, like, driving around into people. She specializes in, like, charging through, like, hordes.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
I didn't use her that much. They were all pretty fun. Then I've got Hestu. No, Terraco becomes playable at the end of the game.
Terraco?
Yeah,
the little baby bean guardian?
Yeah, he plays like a guardian scout, kind of. He's got axes and blades and stuff.
Oh.
And then Hestu. Then
what does Hestu do? Like,
he shakes his maracas and summons Koroks, and they throw like rocks at people and metal boxes. He's powerful. He's just not. He wasn't fun.
That's interesting.
He's very slow, and
I figured maybe he would be a distraction character, like he makes them dance or something.
Well, Daruk was slow, but he didn't feel slow. Like Daruk felt like every hit mattered, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Hestu just felt slow and boring to me. And Daruk's running animation was one of my favorites. He just rolling around in a ball, but he also did that when you dodge. So he'd be like, just rolling a ball to the side real quick.
Nice.
Then I didn't play with either of these two enough because I didn't care for them to begin with because they're so big. But Great Fairies and Calamity Ganon. All
Like
right.
actual Calamity to Ganon, or
Big old
this
man
one?
Calamity
Okay.
Ganon.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't know if you meant like the spider one.
I just didn't play with them enough because they're like Great Fairy is not end game, but I just didn't like what I played, so I never really tried again. Calamity, you get after the main campaign, blah blah blah. You have to do a bunch of quests to even get him, and I've got like 2 quests left, and I haven't even. No, I've got 1 quest left on my map right now, and I didn't even mess with him too much.
What about that one dude? Was it Keaton?
Keaton?
The one that you collect the monster parts for?
You give him monster parts. He's not really in the game though. He's like a map quest where you get certain materials and you give them to people on the map, and they give you stuff, and that's all Keaton's got. And
I meant, was he playing?
My final pro is it had a cute little secret ending.
Oh,
What was it?
So in the story, Terrico dies,
Yes.
and it turns out he was a toy that Zelda and probably her mom made for her when she was little. And that's what a lot of the theories are coming about. Maybe the mom programmed him to be able to time travel or something. No,
Wait.
It never really revealed why he can time travel.
really?
No.
Ugh.
He just kind of did it. And so he died, but it was worse because he got possessed by Calamity Ganon and you had to kill him.
Ooh.
So that was terrible. But there's a little quest at the end to gather all the parts of him and put him back together, pretty much.
Like the
and
Iron Giant.
And that's when he's playable. Is when you put him back together.
Oh, okay.
And then you get a little secret ending with him being back together, and you even get new credits of him, like their little hieroglyphic looking forms or whatever. He's just running around to all the different characters, saying hi to them and like giving them high fives and stuff. It was just, like, just a cute ending. But now I'm going to rip this game a new one. So, I did not like the story at all. I thought it was cowardly and cheap and emotionally manipulative.
Okay, do a quick recap of the story. Because I know Terrico goes back in time, and then a bunch of shit happens.
Well, my only con that's not story related is it's like grindy as hell in the end game. Like you need so many materials to do anything that I'm probably not going to 100% it because I just don't feel like it. But okay, so Terrico goes back in time because Zelda was crying, and there's where the problems start, and they never stop. Time travel, contrary to our Super Nintendo list, does not make everything better. All right. Not only did it muddle things, completely disconnected itself from Breath of the Wild because of it. Everybody lives.
What?
Happy, hunky-dory ending.
Whoa.
All the champions are alive. The king that you saw die off screen, alive. Everyone's alive. Hunky-dory, hold hands, kumbaya. I wanted Halo Reach. I got Care Bears. You know what I mean? I
thought it was going to be like Rogue One and just like...
I wanted Rogue One. I wanted Halo Reach.
Like you're just like...
Everybody dies.
Maybe they'll make it. Maybe they'll make it. Oh, no.
No, they did not. I was thinking they were putting in false hope. Nope, it was real hope.
Oh, no.
That's why I said emotionally manipulative, because like it straight up, like the king came after these guardians that were attacking Link and Zelda and like knocked their asses out. And then he was like, take my daughter and go. And Link was like, I don't want to, basically. Like, he tried to help him. He's like, your duty's to protect her. Go. And he's like, all right. Just, like, left. And then the Guardians that he knocked over stood back up and, like, you heard the laser noise, and then there was an explosion off screen. But nope, he made it. He's good. And, borderline, like, that was borderline false advertising. With how they set the game up. He's like, set 100 years before the Calamity, which, yeah, I guess technically true, but you set it up like it was a prequel when it's really its own thing. I just thought it was cowardly.
So it's a what if scenario?
Yes, that's all it is a what if scenario.
Like I was hoping it was gonna have like basically like by the end of it your morale is like crushed because like you're losing like champion after champion to get in.
That would have been so good.
And then like at the end Link is just like giving up.
I thought it was gonna be what I wish Breath of the Wild did with the memories, where you actually play through them. Cause like imagine playing as all these people as they die. It would have been horrible, like, but it would have been a fantastic way to tell a story.
They should have done it like the most recent thing I could think of is Devil May Cry 5. At the beginning, you fight the final boss and you get your ass kicked, and you're not supposed to win that fight, but you can if you're good enough. That's what it should have been.
Yeah,
and that
like
unlocks the alternate endings.
Yeah, the happy ending should have been an alternate.
There could have been a what if alternate. That would have been fine.
Yeah.
But that main story, everyone lives, everyone's happy, everyone went back to their own time, everything's fine, calamity averted.
Well, that's
Not a prequel at all, not Halo Reach at all.
That's just butt.
It was, but there was some hype ass stuff in there though. Like there were really good moments, like at the beginning of the demo when the king gave his speech. I liked that, and then when the king's like dead, Zelda's giving this speech to people about how like we have to unite, and like Purah, that's the little girl one from Breath of the Wild. She like figured out how to make the towers teleport like a massive amount of people. So like right at the end, you're standing in front of Hyrule Castle, not sure what's going to happen, what's going to work, and as far as everyone else knows, the champion, like, Link and Zelda didn't know that the future champion showed up and helped. They just thought basically everyone was dead and it's just them and a few Hylian soldiers. And that's how it should have been, but then they heard a stomp and saw like all the divine beasts riding up, and they were like, oh shit, hell yeah, we're gonna get this guy. And it was cool though. The way they set it up at this point was cool, because then Purah teleported in armies from every single race and people of Hyrule, just like standing like right in front of Hyrule Castle, and Zelda was like, "Let's go get this!"
So
and I was like, "Yes!"
They literally did the exact scene out of Avengers Endgame.
It was Avengers Endgame, but for Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god!
On your left, Zelda, and that was Rivali. But overall, I really liked it. I just thought the story was cowardly and poorly done. And like I said, emotionally manipulative, borderline false advertising. And a lot of it was just told to you during loading screens, like with a voiceover, but still, it was just like, just have King Rome or Zelda talking over a loading screen, basically. It was just, I thought it was actually going to be a prequel, but then it wasn't, and that was my main disappointment. Still enjoyed it, still a good game. I still had a lot of fun, but I wanted to cry. I wanted it to hit me where it hurts. You know, you made me like these champions.
Oh, I thought you meant you were so mad you wanted to cry.
No, I wanted the story to make me cry, like Halo Reach shit.
Yeah.
You make me like these champions even more than I already did, except Rivali, and then you're going to take them from me. So I thought it was. You couldn't play as them for a while or anything. So I thought they were going places, and they just didn't. And it kind of negated the Blights as a threat, too, because, like, Astor can just bring him back to life whenever.
No.
It's just like...
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Calamity Ganon ate him, though. That was cool. Like, as soon as his usefulness was up, what does Ganon do? You're out.
Yeah.
Like, he basically just got absorbed. He didn't, like, literally, like, pick him up and eat him, but he just, like, malice went all over him, and then, like, the bad Egg Guardian, I think, dragged him away or something. But anyway, Ganon absorbed him. And then stomped on his crystal ball.
Well, that's better than just straight up Ganon jacking him.
Yeah.
No, it was just disappointing. I thought it was I thought it was Halo Reach. It was happy-go-lucky Zelda time. Go chop through 1,000 dudes. That's it.
Oh. Well. But you still recommend playing it?
Oh, yeah. It scratched an itch, for sure. It scratched that, like... It doesn't play or feel like Breath of the Wild, but it scratched that little bit of that Breath of the Wild-ish that Breath of the Wild 2 has left us with. Not as much as I would like, but it scratched it a little bit. Like, it's like you put the calamine lotion on the poison ivy, and you still know the poison ivy's there, but you're good for like an hour.
Okay.
So, yeah. I still think it's a good game. It's just not what I wanted and not what I expected. Story's bad.
So that is Scotty's thoughts on Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Let us know what you think about it in the comments. Let us know if you prefer this smaller episode style where we just talk about one game at a time. And let us know what you'd like to see us play in the future, because we are always open for suggestions. We got some other games that are about to come out that we are really excited to play.
Cyberpunk!
I just got Monster Sanctuary on Switch, so I'm pretty excited to play that. It looks like Pokemon, but not. So, Y'all stay tuned to Bro Trio for more What You Playing powwows. We got some new top 10s and rants and raves coming out all the time, so y'all stay tuned and have a good one.